Hello there, Assalamualaikum. You are now watching English News on TVS. These are the headlines. Sarawak enters 5G era. Organ trader remanded. 6 million ringgit allocation for water supply project in Teluk Melano. The changing landscape of telecommunication services towards 5G has the potential to enhance productivity in all spectrums.
Chair Minister Datuk Petinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said Sarawak will not lag behind in technology as the state develops.
People will be asking why this Abang Jo want to talk about 5G when your 3G and 4G is not there. But then you have to look into the future. We are going towards a developed state, a developed country, and we cannot be left behind in terms of technology. All economic sectors in the future, by the year 2025 up to 2050, will be dominated by technology.
Meanwhile, Centex Senior Manager Fahizah Muhammad Ibrahim said if the 5G test bed, a piece of equipment used for testing new technology, is successful, Sarawak will be the first in Malaysia to be equipped with such facility.
Berkenaan 5G Sarawak testbed, ini adalah testbed yang kolaborasi di antara SDEC, Centex, Sakofa, Maxis, Huawei dan juga Balsa. So this project adalah boleh dikatakan dengan word yang kita senang faham adalah kita nak eksperimen, kita nak cuba dulu okey bagaimana kita nak implement 5G di Sarawak. Jadi kita start dulu dengan Centex sebagai lokasi. Jadi 5G kini itu memang dah on air di Centex, bukan hanya disebut maksudnya memang dah ada antena dekat Centex dan kita dah mulakan dengan smartphone di mana kita ada use case, kita memulakan dengan security. Kita ada CCTV di Centex sebanyak 4 unit dan kita nak melihat sama ada 5G itu berkesan ke si. So kita mulakan 5G testbed di Centex selama beberapa bulan. Sekiranya testbed itu berjaya, state akan implementnya di Sarawak, di mana-mana tempat yang bersesuaian bagi pihak state lah. Ya yang kita buat di Centex untuk 5G Sarawak.
A magistrate's court in Kuching today granted a week-long remand order against a 48-year-old man who surrendered himself to the police over alleged involvement in an international organ trade. Assistant Registrar Mosidi Hussaini issued the order after allowing a remand application made by investigating officer Assistant Superintendent Nor Ilianis Muhammad Yusof.
Clad in purple locked-up attire, the man who was handcuffed entered the court at 9:26 a.m. The remand orders was to facilitate investigations under Section 15 of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act. The accused, who allegedly masterminded a transnational human organ trafficking, surrendered himself to the police at the Kuching District Police Headquarters on Thursday at 1:45 p.m. The shocking details of suspects' illicit activities was exposed by The Sun with images and clips captured through a hidden camera by the agency's reporter, who went undercover as a potential buyer, which prompted a manhunt against the accused.
Water issues affecting communities in Teluk Melano are expected to be resolved with the implementation of water supply project costing 6 million ringgit announced on Thursday.
According to Chief Minister Datuk Petinggi Abang Johari Tun Abang Haji Openg, short-term plan will be implemented first while waiting for the main water supply grid to be connected to Lundu.
We have a master plan based on the state water grid from Bengoh Dam, Kuching, to supply water here. But in the meantime, it takes time for us to implement this project. We have a short-term project under Jabab as well as the local authority for us to build a temporary source of water that will cost about 6 million while waiting for the main grid to come over to Lundu.
Meanwhile, the government will implement temporary tube well project to address the water supply issue which has been troubling the residents.
Projek kata rakyat, projek tube well pun kita laksanakan, sementara kita menunggu nok permanent yang nak dari baru saya yang saya telah tahu. Jadi sidak kampung pun jangan mau tahu. Perkena air kadang-kadang ada, kadang-kadang si, kena grid kita belum sampai dan kita telah berusaha untuk minta sikit duit projek rakyat tu untuk membuat yang sementara. It's a temporary one.
Although it is temporary, the smooth running of the project has shed hopes for the people, especially in facing the drought season in the future.
Ada air gunung pergi ke Jelbab kini tu yang baru projek ya tube well untuk menampung lah bila musim kemarau. Tube well akan kita akan pam air pergi ke Jelbab, dia akan selalu ke dalam kampung. Mudah-mudahan projek berjalan lancar lah.
A total of 128 recipients of the Individual Native Customary Rights NCR received their land titles. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan presented the land titles to recipients in a ceremony held at Pakan Community Hall on Thursday.
Rasa cukup bertuah bagi rakyat Pakan sini kerana diberi tanah Sektor 18 ini. Semoga kerajaan terus memberi bagi yang belum dapat. Biarlah semua tanah NCR di kawasan area Pakan ini dibagi semua kepada rakyat yang berada di kawasan sini. Terima kasih juga saya ucapkan kepada YB kita yang berhormat kerana dia telah memberi kita peluang dan memberi kita surat ini. Semoga kita dapat membangunkan tanah yang telah diberikan kepada rakyat di kawasan Pakan ini supaya dimajukan untuk membuat benda-benda yang berfaedah kepada masyarakat ini.
Kang dia tahu minyak kami tu ada tu kedua kali kenal pak area tu di kawasan Ketepi dia kedua kali orang besar ianya pulai ngaji senam lah. Tapi tadi pulai jadi video lah. Jadi mayo orang membain tadi minyak di sokat perintah sampai nempuh oleh perintah, nempuh oleh kerjaan kerjaku tangan kami itu tadi nada perintah ngambil teh besarnya lama tu macam sukat kami itu dah. Baik, kurang lebih 2 tahun 3 tahun ya mah. Udah ada perintah sampai.
In the same development, a total of 150 land titles were presented during the ceremony. Awang Tengah says this was part of the Sarawak government commitment on perimeter surveying would be carried out in stages.
Ya, kita telah pun berjaya
buat peningkatan secara berita di kawasan bahagian Sarawak ini melibatkan luas kawasan 170,000 hektar. Ini adalah untuk peringkat pertama dibuat secara dan secara peringkat kedua berdasarkan kepada permohonan mereka di mana tanah mereka sudah disukat secara berbeza, warga telah membuatkan bawah seksyen 6 jika ada permintaan mereka yang terlibat kita jalankan kerja-kerja dan secara individu dan membuatkan surat milik di bawah seksyen 18.
So far, a total of 34,091 individual lots were successfully measured, involving 42,265 hectares or 104,436 acres, which have been and will be issued under Section 18 of the State Land Code.
The Urban Development and Resources Minister noted that an additional allocation of 40 million ringgit has been allocated to strengthen surveying works.
Kita telah pun Yang Amat Berhormat Ketua Menteri kita pun memutuskan peruntukan untuk kita menambah lagi kekitangan di Jabatan Tanah dan Survey. Lebih lagi untuk pasukan ukur itu dan kita dalam 400 lebih pegawai. Kebanyakannya adalah untuk pasukan. Dan ini melibatkan seperti yang saya katakan tadi, perbelanjaan kerajaan dengan pertambahannya kekitangan ini secara purada 30 juta.
As of today, the government has successfully measured perimeters in less than 939,877 hectares or 2.3 million acres, and a total of 753,456 hectares or 1.8 million acres has been reported. He said the effort proves the Sarawak government will always recognize and defend the rights of the people on NCR land if the claim abides by the law. Therefore, he hopes that everyone can work together in helping the government to continue the development agenda, especially in rural areas.
Moving towards the COVID-19 updates, Sarawak today recorded one positive COVID-19 case involving an imported case from Yemen. Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee Chairman Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Amba said the case involved a local man from Muka who is receiving his education in Yemen.
The individual who was on board a flight from Cairo entered Malaysia via Kuala Lumpur International Airport on August 3rd. On the same day, he arrived in Sarawak before departing to Cebu. Upon his arrival in Cebu, he was then taken to a hotel where he was placed under a 14-day compulsory quarantine. Initially, he was tested negative with the RTK antigen on August 2nd at Kuala Lumpur. However, on August 12th, he was tested positive following his second swab test on the 10th day of his quarantine, where he was then tested positive. The man does not show any symptoms and has been admitted to the Cebu hospital on August 13 for further treatment.
There has been no occurrence of transboundary haze in Sarawak. This was confirmed by the Director of Sarawak Meteorology Department, Ambun Dindang.
So far, there are 17 hot points detected in the state. However, the Air Pollution Index IPU throughout Sarawak is still in good and moderate condition as of 3 p.m. today.
Okey, untuk titik panas di Sarawak pada hari semalam yang kita dapati ialah ada 17 titik panas di Sarawak. Tetapi kita dapati juga indeks pencemaran udara di seluruh Sarawak masih berada dalam keadaan baik dan sederhana baik sehingga pada jam 3 petang hari ini. So ini mungkin disebabkan oleh tidak ada transboundary haze ataupun jerebu rendah sempadan disebabkan angin adalah agak lemah. Jadi kita tidak mendapat jerbu daripada titik panas yang berada di luar negara seperti di Kalimantan.
Meanwhile, when asked about significant steps to be taken to overcome haze, this was his answer.
Okey, bagi pihak jabatan, kita sentiasa memantau keadaan perkembangan jerbu di negara ini, terutamanya di negeri Sarawak lah. So kita sentiasa berpandukan kepada pelan tindakan jerbu kebangsaan. Apabila berlakunya jerbu teruk yang di mana indeks pencemaran udara ini dalam tahap yang tidak sihat, kita akan melakukan seperti yang dinyatakan di dalam pelan tindakan jerbu kebangsaan, iaitu melakukan pembinaan awan. Tetapi saya harap ini tidak berlaku sebab sekarang ini kita di Sarawak terutamanya sudah mula mendapat hujan walaupun tidak lebat, dan ini kita jangka akan terus membantulah untuk mengurangkan berlakunya titik panas di negeri kita di Sarawak.
He said with heavy intensity of rainfall could reduce hotspots across the state.
The changes and termination of various iban radio shows have not been well received by almost all iban listeners. Raising concern over this matter, Sarato MP Ali Biju said such disruption has interrupted the flow of vital news and information to all iban living over Sarawak. He asserted that iban radio programming is a vital aspect of iban culture in Malaysia, and radio, he said, is still the main mode of communication of important news and information for many ibans living in the interior of Sarawak. Bringing the matter to the Minister for Communications and Multimedia, Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, Ali Biju assured that this will be looked into immediately. And that concludes the English news for tonight. I'm Shara Abamanso for TVS. Salam Sarawak ku sayang.